You know, because like as soon as you break it up.
Oh. Did you see any ghosts?
We're driving back, and then all of a sudden, she's like, "Oh my God, the cops need to know where I am right now." And I'm like,
All right, we're in Keeler, California. Behind me is this old church down here. I don't know much about it, but we're just gonna walk around the town a little bit and take a look at different things. Wow, that is a cool place.
I know. Imagine living here. Like for 1 year,
I wonder if that's a schoolhouse instead of a church.
It could have been. Looks like it has the appearance of that.
Yeah. Beautiful day out here in Keeler. Keeler. The Sierra Nevadas over there. This is gorgeous. I wonder where, I think down there is the old bathhouse or swimming pool. We're down here at the shore where used to be the lake. And there's the Keeler Swimming Club behind me. We'll go check that out. There's also something else over here. There's like a surfboard.
It's like a vintage 60s single fin surfboard.
Salt on the ground. It's like some kind of entryway. Car frame. Old camper. We are here at the Keeler Swim Club, and the edge of Owens Lake is just right over here. Right, I think it came up to where those fence posts are.
Could this pool ever be skatable?
I think it's just a square. There's no transition. Howdy! Awesome place! Short bed terrier there. It's in pretty good shape.
Was that a bar?
It probably was. Keeler, end of the line. From Mound House, Nevada, narrow gauge rails of the Carson and Colorado Railroad.
You gotta get it with the Railroad Avenue sign. That's so dope.
End of the line. Still standing, but for how long? And let's go over here to the other side where the rail would be. Oh boy, this is kind of sketch. Can you imagine where these trees are? A steam engine being parked here. How crazy. A neat place that is steeped in California's silver mining history. Still standing in 2022. Looks like Ryan met somebody over there.
They just put the word out if they're going to sell out or if they had, you know, the place next door.
Do you mind if I film you?
Yeah.
You're good.
I don't even have an Alaska shirt.
You could film me too here. We're just kind of
I
like,
lived
hey!
in like 70, or I bought it in 70 or 71. But I lived in Guatemala for 7 years, came back, nothing was broken into. Then waited a few years, went to Alaska for 5 years. I mean, it can snow here, but It's not very cold.
Yeah.
If it snows, it's melted by now.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It has its magic, though. And most people, we've known each other since the 70s.
Oh, like-
This was the end of the railroad line. And
Yeah.
even walking through here, people found $20 gold pieces from
Oh.
like 1870s and
Wow.
1880s.
Wow.
You know, because the dirt gets kicked up or the bulldozer came through here. And so people were always here. And you can find coins and all sorts of stuff. You know, the train came right through here and stopped on this side.
Oh, that's so cool.
Then would turn around, go back to Lone Pine and up and down.
Yeah, and
So-
my understanding is that there used to be like a harbor over here.
Owens Lake, well, it hasn't been a lake for a while, but if it rains a lot, it gets 5 or 10 mile wet spot.
How many people live and reside here?
About 50.
Oh, wow.
You know, the school bus still comes. And most people have at least 2 trailers. You know, I have like 4 lots. That guy has 4 lots. But there's never been theft here. Like, I've never had a lock. There's 2 trailers on my lot there. If you lock up something, that gives him an excuse. No, it was just hippies. Like in the 70s, a lot of hippies bought here.
Oh, wow. Nice.
You know, and everyone still grows pot.
Well, we just met Elena,
I saw
lived
her all
in
over. I just wanted to
Keeler
know.
here since the 70s.
Yeah.
And I wasn't recording, I should have been, but we just found out that she was one of the hippies that lived up in Panamint City in the 70s, growing pot and living up there about the same time that Charles Manson was on the run in Barker Ranch. She's a neat lady.
They get perfect internet connection here.
We're up here on the Cerro Gordo Road, stopped about halfway. It was getting a bit steep for Jefe, just in regular 2 high, and so I decided to lock it in, and we're gonna go 4 low up just to have some better control, because it is a very steep incline. Look at this view though. All right, we just got to the top. We're at Cerro Gordo. Just gonna look under the hood. Jefe took quite a beating on the way up, so we should make sure nothing's like on fire. Power steering fluid got overflown, but I don't see anything that's gonna burn, so I think we're good. Let's get on up there. Couple of old M something chassis. Hi, puppy. Security. Security! So what do you think so far, James?
This is awesome.
The museum is up there.
Oh, it is.
Check in at Flag. Oh, let's go up there first. These are the buckets that the miners would ride up, and they would take the ore
way.
down. Get in.
But a lot of stuff was already here. I would say
Yeah.
most of it. And then back here is some stuff that I found over the years being here. From my understanding, in its peak, it had 3,000 or 4,000 residents here, which is hard to conceptualize these
Wow.
days.
Yeah.
And to put it in perspective, at that point in time, Los Angeles had about 6,500 residents. So that kind of puts in perspective how big the town was in relation to everything else.
Right.
And the demand here, like obviously all of the miners living here needed supplies, everybody needed all these things, so those all came from Los Angeles. And so the trade back and forth became really important to the area. And a guy named Remy to do that. Scota used to be over there, I don't know where Scota went, but he was known as like the king of the desert freighter. So he brought all the stuff from Cerro Gordo to Los Angeles and vice versa. Nope, that's Belshaw. That's one of the original owners too.
Oh, yeah.
Belshaw. We had a windstorm the other day that really blew a lot of things out. There you go. There's Remy to do. So he was the guy that brought all the stuff from Cerro Gordo to Los Angeles and vice versa. Yeah, you guys want to look around? And,
Okay.
Whenever you're done, I'll be out there. I'll point you to all the other buildings that are available.
Oh, amazing.
Check them out.
Sweet.
And then you're still working on the hotel.
Yeah, we just finished. We finished the foundation. We're just waiting to start framing, and so hopefully that begins any week now, and we'll kind of be weather dependent from there.
All the way up here, there's a giant chimney stack or smoke stack. The stone?
Yeah,
What
down
is
by the
that?
parking lot.
Yeah.
That was one of the original smelters.
It
So
was
what
a
they would,
smelter.
yeah, so
I called it.
so what they did here is like they would
Smelting.
the mineral would be galena, right? So they would mine this, and this is primarily lead, a little bit of silver. There's sulfur in here and some other stuff, and so they would bring it down to what they would just call base, which is just lead and silver. And so in the smelter over there, they would add in the flux to everything, and then create bars kind of like this.
Thanks.
And then
Gnarly.
Massive.
so that is primarily lead with a little bit of silver. And the reason they did that is because if they were shipping 80-pound silver bars out of here, they would just get robbed over and over and over and over again. And so if you left it as this, one, you don't have to do the most complicated part of the process, which is getting the silver out. And then two, it's less likely you get robbed, because what is a bandit gonna do? They don't know how to separate it.
Right.
It's stamped Cerro Gordo, so everybody knows where it came from.
Theft preventative.
Yeah, exactly.
Smart.
That's smart.
And so that,
May I actually pick that up?
yeah, go for it.
Okay, so before you do,
Yeah.
we did another trip down to Goat Canyon Trestle.
Okay.
And he swore that he could pick up this rock off of the railroad tracks.
Yeah.
And so this will be interesting to see if he can pick this up.
You're
Okay,
funny.
he did it.
Yeah, it's all here. It's official. It is actually heavy, and I can understand why if somebody were to rob, they wouldn't take this.
They wouldn't want
No,
a bunch of
just-
why?
Couldn't just throw it in your pocket.
No way. It would put so much strain on your horse anyway. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
I
of
appreciate
course.
that. Yeah.
I'll show you one cool thing we found recently. My buddy was trenching in a water line, and we found something that kind of told the story up here a little bit more than we knew. He found this, which is a Cerro Gordo store currency,
No.
and on the back it says good for 12.5 cents. And so, you know, talk about company towns, right? So keeping all the money in town.
Beautiful.
If you're paying your workers with your own currency that you made up, then
Yeah.
it's a good way to get them to spend all the money here.
Wow.
12.5 cents was been called like a bit, you know?
Yeah.
So like 2 bits would be a quarter, and so I guess that was good for a beer or a whiskey or something like that. But
Wow.
it's pretty cool that he found. And then we recently found this as well. A guy found one of the Chinese coins, because there's obviously a large percentage of Chinese workers up here, and so it's cool. Like Oma found it, so like he wrote like who found it and when.
Look at this power belt that runs this machine here. This whole factory of this. It's amazing. This is astonishing, guys.
I know.
Velvet tobacco, only the best.
Cool. That's awesome.
Always an adventure, at the very least.
Always, yeah.
Roller coaster looking thing is the beginning of the aerial tramway. So
Yeah.
in the zinc era, they put an aerial tramway up and brought all the ore down.
We were coming up the road. We checked. We saw the lone
One bucket still in the air.
bucket in
Yeah.
the air, and I
Yeah.
was like, the miners supposedly used to ride those things up
Back
up the hill.
Yeah.
That
That's
is
high.
high.
Well, the crazy thing when you think about it too, which blows my mind, is like they would have been riding them pre-airplanes in existence, right?
Right.
So nobody else would have had an experience like that anywhere, like being that far off the
Oh
ground.
my goodness.
And so,
Unless you were a Civil War hot air balloon operator.
right, yeah, something like that. This is the galena too, so like it comes out and it's very oxidized, but like you can see I do it a lot, but like I like breaking it open because like as soon as you break it open,
Wow.
it's not oxidized anymore, you know, and so you
Oh.
can still see some of the
Man.
crazy,
That's just perfect.
yeah, it's all pieces.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that way you guys can have some official Cerro Gordo silver / lead.
Thank you. Very kind.
Cool.
Appreciate it.
Maybe a good piece or something. Couple pieces.
Oh nice. Excellent.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
I hate to be this guy. You already forgot a photo with
Yeah,
me.
let's do it. Yeah,
All
of
right.
course.
Cool.
Why don't we just do a group photo? Eh?
Yeah, let's do a
that'd
group
be
photo.
way cool.
What is that, like a bathhouse or?
It's not.
That over there?
Uh-huh.
It's
That's a toilet, bro.
Nice.
And like
You want to do and drop a dish? That's awesome.
Yeah. Here's the selfie wall.
Oh gosh, here's the selfie. Here's the self-pleasure center.
The selfie. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
They had Hawaiian shirts before anyone. That's one of the things that this town is known for that most people don't realize.
Foundation within underneath it. That's amazing.
Just dirt.
Just dirt.
This was definitely a pleasure.
You had to supply your own bedding.
This is so cool.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, just all this stuff. You don't see this a lot because most of the ghost towns in California had been raided for their metal and all of their valuable things in the 60s before places like Bodie, California became a state park. All this stuff was raided, and this has been in private hands since it began, so all this stuff is still here.
Look at all these shovels. Oh, that's so cool.
You can tell some of the, look at this one with the rivets in it. Must have been very old. It's like a flat shovel. Maybe a distillery or something to heat up water pressure to run an engine or something. Fancy little cup.
I'm afraid to open the door.
I'll take a look for you.
Yeah, good as gold.
Yeah.
Still functional.
Not
I can
holding it.
survive you, buddy. I
Can we get the milk?
They're like, oh, more visitors. Hi, guys. What's up?
Oh.
Oh, nice and fuzzy. Buddy.
This is the Belshaw house? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's a hell of a view. So this is I don't even know, like 3,500 gallon tank. I think it
Dude,
was,
they drove this
that
thing
they
up?
had to drive up
Yes.
the road that we came up
Yes.
and make those hairpin turns. Like, I don't even know. I saw it on the videos, but I don't even know how you do anything like that. It's got to be at least 10 feet from bottom to top. Let's go check out that miner cabin up there.
Upward and onward.
There's a cool little miner shack with probably one of the best views in town. You can see Mount Whitney over in the distance somewhere. You could really, it's like butt shaped.
Yeah.
You could put your sit on it and
Yeah.
ride down a hill or something.
There you go.
Let's see if this thing opens. That's a neat little spot. Maybe this is the woodworker's cabin. Pretty killer view. Who are these clowns? Here are the foundations of what will be the future new American hotel and the location of the previous original hotel that burned down. Amazing that they even got this far, considering the road that you got to take to get up here, the amount of materials that have got to be brought up here, the concrete, all of it, just incredible. It's very hard to tell on video, but there's hardly a perfectly flat spot in this whole entire town. The American Hotel right here is probably one exception. Aside from the main mine shaft building, this is probably one of the largest flat spots at Cerro Gordo. So everything on this property is up or down a hill, you know, which makes it extremely difficult to build and maintain. I was looking at one of the houses up there, and there's like after the rain there was some erosion that went through, and so you you'd be constantly keeping up on that to make sure that things didn't deteriorate. All is quiet now. We are, aside from Brent, seems to be the only other people in the town now. Everybody's left the parking lot but us. So it's very quiet up here. Very quiet.
How's it going?
Just gonna go check out the church, aka theater, aka former mechanic shop. What a winch. Oh. Buy your tickets here. Concessions over here. Do your hair and makeup over here. Grind your meat over here. I'm just kidding, I don't know what this is. It's some sort of ancient turbo that they would use on the horse and buggy to make it go 1.5 horsepower. Yeah.
This is awesome. That stained glass.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. The king's chair.
Hey, you guys, I'll sit in the...
Concessions again. Must have been a brawl in here, or the ghost of Cerro Gordo knocked over the chair. We may never know.
What were you in confidence or what?
Oh, you guys. Behind me is the Cerro Gordo bunkhouse. Reportedly one of the most haunted places at Cerro Gordo. Let's go see if there's any ghosts haunting this during the day.
I left everything a month ago to come up here and volunteer.
Beautiful stone.
Is it really?
Did you see any ghosts?
I saw the handle move from left to right.
You saw the lantern swaying back and forth?
Good, I think it is.
Tell me that you didn't see it swaying back and forth by a little bit. Okay. Just want to make sure.
There could be a window open though, that the air's coming in and just blowing it.
I don't know, man. This place used to be most haunted.
So I don't know if you guys know, but in the mine, and there was about 30 people, or I don't know. I have to go back and look at the statistics. There's a bunch of people
Right.
who died in a mine collapse
Of course.
Oh gosh.
in here,
Bound to
and
happen.
they could never retrieve the bodies.
Oh my gosh.
So they think that the place is haunted, possibly because of that. We did our own little mini investigation, and we say that it's plausible because we saw a lantern swinging in there, which could possibly be from wind, even though it is a very calm day today. There's not a lot of wind. So, plausible. Yeah. Here's the main mine building, the hoist building for the Union Mine. The deuce and a half that brought all the bricks, concrete up here to be mixed. Under the direction of Salvador Bautista, the Cerro Gordo Hoist House has been saved in order to preserve its history so that future generations can know the critical importance that silver mine from this location had in the creation of the West, and as we have come to know it. Silver mined here was shipped back east, where some of it was made into film stock. That film was then shipped to Hollywood and brought back to the Owens Valley to make westerns. That's pretty cool. These efforts built upon the work of volunteers over the years to preserve Cerro Gordo. Our work is dedicated to the memory of Mike Patterson, who believed in the role private citizens have in upholding the ideals of American exceptionalism. That's a mouthful. Check out this hoist house, though. Pretty cool place. we'd go inside and check it out, but Brent had asked us not to go in there without him being there, so we're not gonna check out the inside. But you can see what goes on in there at Ghost Town Living YouTube channel. I think I might have found the pathway to the library. Let's go check it out. Cerro Gordo Library. Enter at your own risk. Wow, is there light?
There are 2 switches on the outside. I saw that. I don't know. There we go. Beautiful.
Wow, this place is pretty incredible. James just sitting in the library enjoying a good book.
This is like, yeah, I've been wanting to come here forever. So this is where they held all the dynamite, and he created this library.
So he could blow your mind with knowledge now.
Yes. Yeah, go for it.
Books on the Old West and mining and excavation, structural manuals, ghost towns, Sean Wayne. Pretty cool.